Alright, welcome back to FreeCodeCamp. We're learning local storage by building a to-do app, and this is part of the JavaScript algorithms and data structures. You guys could try for yourself in the description down below. And thank you for 50 subscribers, and you can find the rest of the courses on my channel. So yeah, this is step 35, and it says to enable editing and deleting for each task, add an onClick attribute to both buttons, and set the value of onClick attribute to edit task this for the edit button, and the delete task this for the delete button. So we have both the buttons here on line 42 and 43, and then right next to the type equals to button, we are gonna, or actually the class, yeah, so the type button, we got it here. We're gonna add a on click, which is equal to, with two strings, with the string, we're gonna have it equal to edit task this, since this is the edit button. And the same goes for the delete button on line 43. So on click equals edit task this, and then this will handle the editing and deleting, and this keyword refers to the current context. Oh, I wrote for the delete button, I wrote edit task, so it should be delete, just like this. So now on step 36, it says to create a delete task function using arrow syntax. So let's do that first. So we're going to do const delete task is equal to the parentheses and arrow syntax, just like this. And then pass in the button L as in parameter. So inside the parentheses, you could pass in button L, just like this. And then it says to define an empty set of curly braces, which we just did for the function body. So now 37, it says you'll need to find the index of each task you want to delete first. So create a data ARR index variable and set its value using the find index method on the task data array. So inside the delete task, we could create a variable called data. So const data array index is equal. We're gonna have value. We're gonna set its value using the find index method on the task data array. So task data dot find index, just like this. And we're gonna pass it item as a parameter. So inside the find index method, we're gonna pass in item as a parameter for the arrow callback function. So we're gonna instead of passing an item, pass an item as the parameter for the arrow callback function within the callback. So in find index method, you're going to pass in a callback. So parentheses, arrow syntax, just like this. And we're going to pass in item as a parameter. And then it says within the callback, check if the ID of the item is equal to the ID of the parent element button.l. So inside this, we don't even need the curly braces. We could just pass in, so item.id is equal to the parent element of button. So the ID of button L. So we could type in button L dot ID, just like this. So item.id is saying that your arrow function callback should check if the item.id is equal to the button L dot parent element dot id. So this should be button L dot parent element dot id, just like this. So now on step 38, it says you need to remove the task from the DOM using remove and from the task data array using splice. So splice is an array method that modifies the array by removing and replacing or adding elements to a specified index. So while also returning the removed elements. So we could see over here, just like this. The const remove fruits.splice 1 through 2 will return mango, banana, and apple from this array fruits. And also give us the remove fruits. So we're going to use remove method to remove the parent element of the button L from the DOM. So we could do button L dot parent element dot splice or dot remove, then use the splice method to remove the task from task data array. So let's read this. So it says to use the remove method using the remove and from the task data array using splice. So then it's saying then use the splice method to remove the task from the task data array and pass in data array and 1 as the arguments for your splice. So remove, and then under this button L parent element remove method, we could do task data dot splice. As the first argument, we will be passing in data array index, and the second 1, just like this. So now step 39 says use the arrow syntax to create an edit task function. So let's do that first. So const edit task is equal to parentheses arrow syntax and curly braces. So it says to pass in button L as a parameter and empty curly braces for the body, just like we did here. And now you just got past the parameter of button L. So now step 40, it says as you did in the delete task function, you'll need to find the index of the task to be edited. So we're going to be creating a data array index variable. So let's do that first. So we're going to do const data array index. And then for its values, we're going to utilize the find index method on the task data. So we're going to do task data dot find index method, and we're going to pass in the item as a parameter to its callback function. So we're going to create a callback function inside this array method or find index method. So let me add spacing so it's easier to read. And we're going to pass an item as a parameter to this callback, and we're going to check if the ID of the ID of item is equal to the ID of the parent element of button now, just like the previous step. So we're going to need these curly braces in the callback. We could just type in item.id is equal to button L dot parent element dot ID, just like this. So now it says use a square bracket notation to retrieve the task to be edited from the task array using the data array index. So it says use the square bracket notation to retrieve the task to be edited from the task array using the data array index. Then assign it to the current task object to keep track of it. So use the square bracket notation to retrieve the task from edit to be edited from the task array. So task data array with the square brackets, and then using the data array index, and then assign it to the current task object. So the current task is equal to, just like this. So it's going to be the current task object is equal to the task data, and then we're going to use the square notation to retrieve the task to be edited using the data array index. So now step 42, it says the task is edited now. The task to be edited now is in the current task object. Stage it for the editing inside the input fields by setting the value of title input to current task title. So we could do, so the value of title input, it says title input is equal to the current task dot title and then we're going to set date input equal to current task dot date, and lastly we're going to assign description input equal to the current task dot description, just like this. Oh, okay, I see. It says by setting the value, so we need the value of the title input. So for title input, we're going to do title input dot value equal to current task title. For date input, we're going to do date input dot value equal to current task date, and same for description input dot value, which is going to be equal to the current task description, just like this. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next step, 43.